Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess and I'm so excited to be here today.
You look so good.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you back.
Love you. I have the sweetest husband in the world. I swear I've been trying to start this YouTube channel forever and I think he is better at helping me make this happen than I've been for me. Not gonna lie to you, this is the second time I've filmed this video. So hopefully I get a lot better at this as the time goes on. I'm just trying to find my questions. So today I'm going to be doing the BOOKTUbe newbie tag because one, I am new. This is the first time I have ever started a channel, and two, I thought it would be a really good way for you guys to kind of get to know me and what you can expect throughout this channel. I'm going to stop rambling and we can just go ahead and get into the video. Question number one for the tag is, why did you start this channel? I think that honestly I'm starting this channel as a huge passion project for myself. I have always loved videography and loved reading as a kid. In middle school and high school I would read a bit, but I've really gotten very deep into reading the past 2 years. So this is supposed to help me motivate myself to one, make more videos, vlog my memories and my experiences, have a place to put them, and two, encourage me to read more books. I have so many books on these shelves that I still haven't read yet, and so there are so many videos coming your way, and I think this is just the ultimate passion project and motivator for my goals, for helping me do the things that I love and making it happen, because I know for a fact that in 20-something years I would look back and regret not making a YouTube channel. So we're making it happen. Question number two, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to BookTube? So first of all, there are so many amazing creators on YouTube already, especially in the bookish niche, that I don't want to take away from at all when I'm saying like I have something new that I can bring, because I love them so much. One thing I do think that I offer that is a little bit different is that I feel like my life is more of what the normal life looks like of a reader. I don't feel like I have seen very many booktubers who don't do YouTube like full time. I work at a marketing agency and I'm still in college. I'm married, I have a family, and there's just a lot of things that I'm balancing. So I may not be reading hundreds of books a year, but this might be relatable to some of y'all who are still in college or have a job and trying to balance making your goals a priority. My reading goal for the year might look a lot different than it would for other creators, but I'm okay with that, and that's something that I don't feel like I need to be ashamed of at all, but it might be something that you guys can relate to too. As for the actual content I'll be making, you can expect a lot of vlogs from me, reading vlogs, TBR videos, monthly wrap-ups. I love book journaling, and so you'll get a lot of that content, as well as vlogs along the way. Like I said, I genuinely just love filming life as a way to remember, and so there's gonna be a whole mosh posh of stuff, but hopefully if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, this might be a good page for you. Okay, question number three, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Oh my gosh, I feel like I just got into a little bit of that with the last question. I keep getting ahead of myself. What am I most excited about? Oh, there are actually so many things. I'm excited to be able to read and react to books like in real time, and then be able to go back and remember that. I know that I've seen like so many videos of people saying like, oh, I wish I could like read that book for the first time again. And so I think this is going to be a really fun way for me to like real time be able to go back and remember those books that I love and that I haven't found yet and I will love, and be able to capture those memories for me to look back on. Also just like I said, capturing different parts of my life at different ages and different seasons, and being able to look back at those memories. I love that.
So it's a few days later now, and I'm getting to edit this, and I just realized this clip is like nowhere to be found now, and I refused to record this a third time. So now you get a photo booth video of me just filling in where you missed. So question number 4 is, why do you love reading? And if I can remember correctly, during this part, I was basically talking about how I grew up dancing my whole life, but I had my ankle reconstructed twice. And so after that point, I couldn't really dance anymore. And so I kind of felt like I didn't have any hobbies, or I was like missing this huge part of me that kind of defined me for so many years. And so that is where I was right there. So that's the gist of it. Back to past me.
So for me, that was really hard, that I felt like, drop my phone. Felt like I lost like any sense of hobby. And so I don't know if anyone has experienced that, but that is honestly a really hard thing to go through. It felt like I didn't have a way to express myself. It felt like I didn't have a way to kind of free my mind and escape into something new. And so I felt like I had lost that for so long, and it felt like I didn't really know what I enjoyed anymore. I didn't really know like who that made me into anymore. And I know that sounds like so dramatic. Like, obviously I know who I am and I knew who I was and I didn't lose myself, but it felt like a huge part of me was taken away. And so a few years ago, when my husband and I got married, he gave me a book to read on our honeymoon. And I read that book throughout the honeymoon. I read it so fast, like binged my way through that book. And I think it kind of re-sparked that love that I had for reading as a kid. Like, I used to read all the time when I was in like elementary school, and then in middle school and high school. I didn't read as much, but I would still read like a good bit. Like, I read obviously all the Hunger Games, Divergence, all those kind of dystopian books that you read in middle school and high school. Like, loved them. And then I think when I read that book on my honeymoon, it kind of reminded me like, oh, hey, this is actually so much fun. And I felt like I got that bit of like personality back. I had a hobby again that I could kind of lean into for a sense of escape and expression. So, long answer to those questions, but you get what I mean. What book or series got you into reading? I feel like that one is kind of hard to answer, because obviously, like I was saying, there were so many books that I loved like as a kid. Like, on my Goodreads account, I made a shelf of like the books that I loved as a kid. And like, if I could just go down this, like, I loved all of the Ali Finkel's Rules for Girls. I don't know if any of you read those, but if you did, they were so good to read as a little girl. Like, I loved them. And then I read a ton of books by Wendy Mass, which was like a series of like interconnected standalone books, but they were so good. I got a lot of love out of those books as a kid. And then in middle school and high school, I really dove into, like I was saying, like Hunger Games. I would say this series, I still have it on display because of the love that I have for these books. You know that TikTok that's like, there wouldn't have been all of this if there hadn't been you? For me, The Hunger Games was that for me. Like, when I tell you, I was obsessed. Like, I would dress up as Katniss with Mockingjay earrings at the midnight premiere, obsessed. Like, that was a character of me that I haven't seen. Well, no, I did just recently see her, and that was when I read and saw the movie for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And let me tell you, when we get this new book that's coming out, I'm gonna have to do a video on it, because the love and like inner child that this series like brings out of me is unreal. As I've grown into adult, there are so many series, but I would say The Hunger Games is like where my core sits. Next question. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Okay, let me just tell you guys my favorite booktubers. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Maybe it was the first time I filmed this video. Haley Pham. Oh my gosh, I have been watching Haley Pham since I was a child. I watched her back when she was still in her dancer era because, hey, that was me too. I was a huge dancer. I've been watching her since her bullet journal days. When I tell you, I would sit down with my bullet journal, and when she was sitting there with her washi tape and her markers and her stickers, I was there too. Yep, who was there? Right here, me, doing the calendar, doing the bullet journals. I started book journaling because of Miss Haley Pham, and then I was introduced from her to Miss Destiny Sidwell and Miss Sarah Caroli. I love them, and I feel like each of them, I feel like I like see parts of myself in that I love watching them for, and so it's really fun to be able to like see all of them together when they do their collabs and stuff, because I feel like I see myself in them in different pieces, and it's really cool. I also love Rachel Catherine, Ellen Catherine, both of them, my international girlies. I love their videos so much. So basically, those are my favorite booktubers. If I could ask them anything, I guess I would just ask them for like advice. Like, what did you need to hear when you were starting out that someone in a similar position could benefit from? Like, what advice do you have for a little booktuber just starting out with just a camera and a lot of thoughts and a lot of books? Okay, next question. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? What a question. I think, like I was mentioning earlier, like I'm still in college, I have a job, and like I have my family, and so I think for me is just going to be balancing those priorities and making time for the things that I love. So in this case, making videos, reading books, I want to make more time for those things that matter so much to me. And I think that is going to be a challenge just with everything else that I do have going on in my life. But I'm willing to make that a priority, and I'm going to do it. I think the second challenge is just going to be like having myself sit down in front of a camera and just talk to this camera, which, girl, future me and you are going to have a really fun time having to listen to ourselves and just not try and critique every little thing that we're doing and saying, because that is something I think everyone deals with, especially when starting a YouTube channel. So once I get over that and can just do it, we're gonna have no problems. Well, not none, but less than we do now. Been reading a ton of fantasy recently, and I've been loving that a ton. I don't know, I feel like I'm a huge mood reader, so I read a lot of just everything, but it just depends on the mood. It's weird though, because I feel like I would be in more of like a cutie rom-com beach type book right now. I feel like I'd be more into like those types of rom-coms and romances, but I like am not in the mood for them. Like, I love them to death, but I feel like I just need something a little more high stakes right now. So I'm like in this fantasy era for now. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get to like fall and autumn and like October, because normally that is when I read a lot of my like fantasy books, but that is not where I've been recently. So I don't know, maybe I'll be into my like rom-coms in the dead of winter. I don't know. That's usually how it happens, right? You need to like balance out the moods. I will say there are so many books on my shelf. I'm like looking in a mirror back at my shelves right now, but there are so many that I haven't read still that I need to get to. I'm so guilty of buying like full series before I actually start reading the books. Like the first book, the whole Twilight series that I've never read, Harry Potter series, which I've read 4 of them, and there are 7. Honestly, I read them so long ago though that I just want to do a video like reading the whole series. And honestly, I wish that I could see more people who would just like read full series of books and like give their reactions as they go on. So I think I'm going to make a few of those just because I have so many series that I need to do that with, that I have the full series that I haven't read any of them for. Like I would love to do like a Harry Potter themed video and just do all of them. And it would be probably a really long video, but we would make it work. There are just so many books that I've loved that I can't even imagine the ones that are still on my shelves that could be my next favorite read. Right now I'm reading Miss A Court of Thorns and Roses by Miss Sarah J. Maas, and I've been enjoying it so much. So I can't wait to do a little reading vlog, talk about my thoughts, and I honestly can't wait to dive into the feast of books that Miss Sarah J. Maas has written for us. That is all the questions. Overall, I'm just so excited to finally be doing this and to get to reading and get to building a community here on YouTube with all of you. Hopefully I haven't talked your ear off yet. If anything I've said has connected with you, or if there's anything that you think that me or my channel has to offer, even if it's just my personality that you vibe with as well, I hope that you would follow along, and hopefully I can see you next time. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, like, crush that like button down below.